In this video, I'm going to teach you how to find the break-even point, okay, in units, okay, for multi-product company, okay. So if your company are selling lots of products, more than one products, okay. So if your company is selling more than one products, there is a different way of calculating the break-even point, okay. So if you look at question number 12, we have this company over here that manufactures suits and shirts, okay. So they are producing two products, one is suits, one is shirts, okay. The sales volume for suits is 600 and the sales volume for shirts is 400. Selling price for suits is 93, selling price for shirts is 21, okay. And the variable cost per unit for one suit is 53 and the variable cost for one shirt will be $11, okay. So the fixed expense for this particular company is basically $39,004 per year, okay. And they ask you to calculate the break-even point for this business. You cannot use the same formula that you have used to calculate your break-even point for one single product, okay. If this company sells more than one product, there is a different way of doing it, okay. So there are a few steps over here that you need to pay attention, okay. And the first step is to find out your sales mix. Step number 1, find out your sales mix. So sales mix is the proportion of each product that makes up of the total sales of a business. So basically sales mix is in the form of percentage, okay. You are going to find how many percent of suits and how many percent of shirts, okay. So how are we going to do this? Very simple. The first step you are going to do is to list down the sales volume for each suits and shirts, okay. You have product number 1 and product number 2 here. So you look at the sales volume for suits. Sales volume for suits is 600. So your sales volume for suits, you put 600 over here. And your sales volume for shirts is 400. So you put 400 over here. So 600 plus 400 equals to 1,000. Okay, equals to 1,000. Okay, so how are you going to find the sales mix? This is very simple. You are going to take 600. Okay, you are going to take 600. Hold on now. Make it smaller. You are going to take 600. Okay, divide by the total, which is 1,000, and you would get 0.6, which is also known as 60%. Okay, so your sales mix for suit is 60%, and your sales mix for shirt is 400 divided by 1,000. You will get 40%. So your sales mix for shirt is 40%. Okay, so your sales mix for suits is 60%, sales mix for shirt is 40%. If you add these two up, if you add 40 and 60% together, you will get a total of 100% as well. Next, you need to find the contribution margin for each product. Okay, so contribution margin equals to selling price minus your variable cost. Okay, contribution margin equals to selling price minus your variable cost. So your selling price for one suit is $93 and for shirt is $21. So for suit is $93, shirt is $21. Then put in your variable cost. So your variable cost for one suit is $53 and for one shirt is $11. Okay, so you have to minus off 53 minus off 11. So 93 minus 53, your contribution margin that you get over here is 40. 21 minus 11, you will get 10. Okay, so you find out the contribution margin for each product. Once you are done with this, you have to find out your weighted average contribution margin per unit. So this is very simple. You are going to take the contribution margin that you have calculated for each product. You have to times with the percentage, which is the sales mix. Okay, so you are going to take the contribution margin times with the sales mix, which is in percentage. So your contribution margin for suits is 40. Your contribution margin for shirt is $10. You have to times with the sales mix for suits. Sales mix for suits, if you look at your sales mix for suit is $60. So it's 60%, not $60, yeah? So sales mix for suit is 60%, and your sales mix for shirt is 40%. Okay? So you have to times these two together. Okay? So 40 times 60, you will get 24. And 10 times by 40%, you will get $4. Okay? So your total weighted average contribution margin, you have to add these two up. So 24 plus 4, you will get 28. So your WACC, which is also known as weighted average contribution, your WACM, weighted average contribution margin per unit, equals to $28, okay, per unit. And once you find out your WACM, you can find your combined BE point in units. So how to find your combined BE point in units? How to find your combined break-even point in units? It's the same. You are going to take fixed cost, divide by your WACM. Okay? Instead of dividing it by your contribution margin, you have to divide it with your weighted average contribution margin. So the answer here will be your fixed cost is 39004. So fixed cost is 39004 divided by your weighted average contribution margin. Weighted average contribution margin is the one that we have calculated over here. Divide by 28. You will get 39004 divided by 28. You will get 1393 units. Okay, so in order to break even, you need to sell a total of 1393 units. Okay, if let's say the question asks you the break-even point for each product, they don't want the combined break-even point. If they ask for the break-even point for each product, it's very simple. You need to use your sales mix times by your combined break-even point. So your combined break-even point is 1393. So your sales mix for suits is 60%. So 60% times by 1393, you will find the break-even point for one suits. Okay, you will find the break-even point for suits, and you take 40% times by 1393 as well. You will find the break-even points for shirts. Okay, so if they ask for break-even point for each product, you have to take the sales mix times with the combined break-even point. So 60% times by 1393, you will get 835.8, which is approximately 836. Okay, and for shirts, you have to take 0.4 or 40% times by 1393. You would get 557.2, which is approximately 557. Okay, so if you add these two up, you will still get the same. Okay, if you add these two figures up, you will get 1393, which is the combined break-even point, if you notice that. Okay, this 1393 will be equivalent to this combined break-even point. Okay, now if they ask you for the break-even point in dollars, you have to find your break-even point per product first. Then you have to times with the selling price. You have to times with the selling price for one unit. So the selling price for suits is $93, and the selling price for shirts is $21. So you times that in. So 836 times by 93. 836 times by 93. You would get 77,748, and 21 times by 557, you would get 11697. So if they ask you for the break-even point in dollars, you add these two up. So 11697 plus 77748 you would get 89,445. Okay, so this is how you find your break-even point in dollars for multi-products company. Okay, and this is how you find your break-even point for each product. Okay, so if the question asks you for sales volume to achieve target profit, very simple. You just replace the contribution margin per unit into weighted average contribution margin. The formula will always be the same. Fixed expense plus your target profit divide by your weighted average contribution margin. Okay, so this is how you do. This is how you find the break-even point for multi-products company.